There's a war going on right now between the largest major label in the world and TikTok. Okay, war is a little bit of an exaggeration. It's more like mommy and daddy having a fight at the dinner table and unwilling to resolve things. I don't think TikTok needs much explaining. It's a social media app. It's actually only the 5th largest social media app in the world, with around 1.5 billion monthly active users. Which I actually thought it'd be closer to the top with how often it is talked about in the media. But I guess it's also surprising when you realize how fast it has grown. For the boomers in the audience, people post short-form video content there, quite often with music attached to it, making it a great way for people to promote their music. Quite a few artists have blown up almost purely because of TikTok, Lil Nas X being one of the biggest examples. I know you didn't ask, but here is a quick formula for music success on TikTok, so get out your notepads. Make a song with extremely random gimmicks that people will talk about and share, something like you sprinting at the camera, rapping about Badussi, or you pretending to play your piano composition for music teachers, in quotations, looking like they want to fuck you. If it doesn't work the first time, try it over and over until it blows up, and I can almost guarantee it will. TikTok has enough ground level engagement that it can actually cause a song to chart based off of this alone. And this is where major labels step in. They see this and recognize the promotional value and that it doesn't require as much advertising, leaving their pockets much fuller. UMG is a music company that encompasses a large amount of labels, including Def Jam, Republic, Virgin, Capitol, Abbey Road, Cash Money, Dreamville, Motown, Shady Records. They are known as one of the big 3 major labels, which also includes Sony and Warner. TikTok removed all of UMG's music due to an expired contract as of January 31st, 2024. Some of the largest artists include Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, BTS, and Drake. So this is clearly a serious loss for all of humanity. All videos containing their music have been muted, and all videos going forward can no longer use their music. This might actually seem like a W until you look at how many artists are a part of UMG and how this may impact TikTok going forward. Okay, this might still be a W then. I was surprised while looking through the artists they are associated with. I knew there were a lot of artists, but I didn't think it was anywhere near this many. Old rock such as Van Halen and Sting, pop punk acts such as Blink-182 and Fall Out Boy, and metalcore such as Atreyu and August Burns Red, pop artists such as DJ Khaled and Billie Eilish, rappers such as Kendrick Lamar and Jay-Z, and that's literally just the tip of the iceberg. Scrolling through acts they have worked with is severely overwhelming. There were a series of negotiations leading up to January 31st, but they couldn't hammer out an agreement between UMG and TikTok as the contract had come to an end. UMG wrote an open letter titled "Why We Must Break Up with TikTok." Why we must call time out on TikTok. They stated that in their contract renewal discussions, they pressed them on 3 issues. 1. TikTok wasn't compensating their artists fairly. 2. Protecting human artists from the harmful effects of AI. 3. Online safety for TikTok users. We're going to go through these one by one, analyze them with a magnifying glass, and discuss why some of them are bullshit. They stated in the open letter that TikTok proposed paying our artists and songwriters at a rate that is a fraction of the rate that similarly situated major social platforms pay. Today, as an indication of how little TikTok compensates artists and songwriters, despite its massive and growing user base, This is such a run-on sentence. We need to call a timeout on this grammar. Despite its massive and growing user base, rapidly rising advertising revenue, and increasing reliance on music-based content, TikTok accounts for only about 1% of our total revenue. That's quite the flex. I'm curious what is the actual amount these artists make from TikTok, because obviously it's a lot more than what the average creator would make on TikTok. Spoiler alert, TikTok pays virtually nothing. Ultimately, TikTok is trying to build a music-based business without paying fair value for the music. Which is true, music is a huge part of TikTok's past and continued success, yet they are not willing to compensate mainstream or underground artists well. UMG also said that TikTok tried to bully them. Sorry, that's really funny. UMG also said that TikTok tried to bully them into accepting a deal that was worth less than before. They also suggested not including certain developing artists at UMG, while keeping the large stars such as Drake, Taylor Swift, etc. TikTok in general does not pay out very much money to their creators. Let's just say even Spotify pays better. They have set monetization programs with a limited amount of money for a set amount of time. The one from 2020 to 2023 was $1 billion, and people would end up making only roughly $20 to $40 per million views. So clearly, while it is not difficult to get views on TikTok, it is really difficult to make money, with many creators resorting to brand deals, merch, or pushing people to different platforms where they are compensated better for their time. What I wish I could do in this video is compare the amount they are paying these major labels in these deals, how much labels are paying out to their artists, with how much TikTok profits. And no, it's not the pocket watch. I was thinking we could figure out who is the greedy one here. Honestly though, it's probably all of them. Is that still pocket watching? None of these numbers seem to be available publicly, except I was able to find a bit about how much TikTok's parent company makes. I did find one Wall Street Journal article where they talked about how they made $6 billion in the first quarter of 2023. And obviously that is a lot of money, but they also run a handful of businesses. What we can do now is take a look at how much the average artist who isn't signed to a major label makes through TikTok. They get 3 cents for each TikTok that uses their song, meaning you need your song used 1,000 times in order to get $30. Aside from that being virtually nothing, it doesn't seem like a very good system. It seems like the amount of views should be more important than the amount of videos, especially since that changes the amount of ads that are being run on the video. Now, there's definitely something to be said about the promotional value of their platform. And I'm not arguing for being paid in promotion, but it is one of the most powerful platforms in that regard. And some people are willing to make that trade-off on TikTok. That is the trade-off you're making with this app. Your content gets promoted harder, but you get paid virtually nothing. Major labels are unified and large enough to try to change this sort of thing, and that's what we are seeing happen right now. I guess UMG has considered it more valuable to hold out for more money than to have their artists use their platform for free promotion. I do have one loophole that has crossed my mind. Could these UMG artists technically put their unreleased music out there for promotion before it is a part of the UMG system, benefiting from the free promotion of TikTok but not having their song taken down via their label? They have stated that TikTok is allowing the platform to be flooded with AI-generated recordings, as well as creating tools to enable and encourage AI music, allowing the royalty pool to be further diluted. Which is actually true. In one of my last WNN videos, I talked about how TikTok released a feature to AI generate songs based on a prompt that you suggest, and the results were amazing. Basically a musical equivalent to The Room. It wrote a song about going to a comedy show in a variety of different genres, and they were all fantastic. I don't think this music is currently a threat to music made by humans, but they are right that it would dilute the royalty pool. They also stated that TikTok has made little effort to do something about infringing content, which is also true. Do you guys remember that AI generated Drake song named Heart on My Sleeve? That got popular via TikTok. While TikTok could have stopped that from happening sooner, these uses of AI are a relatively new technology, and there are not many laws in place yet to protect an artist's voice from AI. TikTok could take a harder stance on this sort of thing, but they most likely won't, since they are making AI song generation tools and just handing them out to people. UMG has been having to take this content down on their own, and what they state has been a game of whack-a-mole. Now this part is where it goes off the rails. They start talking about the large amount of hate speech, bigotry, bullying, and harassment. While there's definitely an issue of online safety for TikTok users, especially minors, it really seems like they just tacked on that part at the end there to seem like they are good guys and just want to make society better. And personally, I'm not really buying it. I seriously doubt this is a real issue they have with the platform. It's really just about money. The first two parts are about money, and it could be possible this part's even about money as well. If the other two issues were addressed, I'm almost positive they wouldn't have had an issue signing the contract again. There was at least one UMG artist who was upset with this change named Noah Kahan, and I'm pretty sure he's the only one that is upset about it. The joke here is that large labels usually hound artists to make TikToks promoting their music. I'm guessing that UMG is doing this because they realize that TikTok needs them more than they need TikTok. And I think they're absolutely correct. Music is incredibly fundamental to TikTok's success at this point and going forward. After this has transpired, it has a lot of people wondering what happened to a lot of the audio on TikTok. Why is it muted? They essentially nuked a good part of the platform overnight. While TikTok seems too large to fail at this point, it could be a tipping point or lead to a tipping point. TikTok, in a statement on social media, said that UMG was promoting false narratives and rhetoric and of putting greed above the interests of their artists and songwriters. Now at this point, it just seems like they're pointing the finger at each other about who is greedier. And like I said earlier, I'm pretty sure they are all greedy. If the other two large labels pull their catalog as well, this could be even more detrimental for TikTok. With much less popular music on the platform, those TikTok dancing videos will be much harder to come by. Sure, there will be the next artist getting popular on the platform, but how long until they get signed to UMG or another record label, only for their music to be removed from the platform again? This open letter, as well as the media's response to it, may also have a large effect on how other labels, artists, and maybe even creators interact with the platform. TikTok may be one of the most popular social media platforms the past few years, but that can easily change, whether from major labels pulling their catalog, or from it no longer being the cool platform for Gen Z, or from countries straight up banning it. TikTok is definitely lip syncing and dancing on unstable ground that could fall out from under them at any moment. Thank you for watching. If you want to support the channel, consider joining my Patreon or becoming a channel member. You get exclusive perks, access to live streams after they are finished, as well as a sample pack every month or so. I'll see you guys next time.
Bang Incorporated.